I'm proud of him because a lot of things happen behind the curtains that people are not privy to, and I'm proud of his endurance, his understanding, and where God allowed him to be and where he is now spirit. He can't control a lot of things that transpired, but he learned a lot as a young man. He learned a lot. You got to understand, that was his first time cutting the umbilical cord that we had together, and he was out there on his own, and he had to do what he had to do, and he made it through the storms. And I'm proud of him, man. As a father, I'm proud of him because I know.
This is the kind of move that does not happen quietly. The Cleveland Browns have reportedly made an offer to Deion Sanders so bold that it is shaking front offices across the league. We are talking about a deal that would make Coach Prime one of the highest paid coaches in NFL history. Not college history, NFL history. That is Belichick territory. That is Andy Reid money. That is the type of offer that tells the entire league Cleveland is done playing safe.
Who has always gotten the most out of Shedeur? It's Deion Sanders.
How you feeling? We're glad to have you. Are we taking care of you? You need anything? Let's have 12 play well today, right? Good to see you, man. Hey, guys, Jimmy.
That Shedeur Sanders is a legitimate franchise quarterback. If you think he's the answer, then you hired Deion to be the coach.
If the Browns can't win, because we know that's this tough division to win in, Deion will make the Browns poppin'. So at least you'll win one battle. At minimum, you'll win the battle of fame. At minimum, you'll win the battle of excitement. And more than anything, you'll get what you need to get out of Shedeur.
And this is not just another rumor that disappears by next week. If this is real, then we are watching a complete shift in how NFL teams think about coaching hires, quarterback development, and the power of family legacy in professional football. Because this is not only about Deion. This is about Shedeur Sanders. This is about control. This is about a franchise that has been stuck for decades looking at one headline and seeing a way out. Make sure to like and subscribe, and if you love Shedeur, then comment SS 100%, because this story is moving fast, and the truth is not going to come from the usual places. We are going to connect the dots from what happened on the field to what is happening behind closed doors right now in Cleveland. To understand how we got here, you have to go back to last Sunday. The Browns were grinding through another frustrating game when Deshaun Watson took a vicious hit. Moments later, he was in concussion protocol. Just like that, the entire plan collapsed. The backup had to step in for his first real NFL action with zero time to breathe. That backup was Shedeur Sanders, the fifth-round pick who had been waiting patiently for his moment. And the second he jogged onto that field, the entire football world stopped to watch.
With the 144th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Shedeur Sanders, quarterback.
Coach Prime was not even in the stadium. He was in Boulder, Colorado, running a youth football clinic when the message hit, "Your son is going in." And it hit him hard. Deion Sanders is built on confidence. He is built on swagger. He is the man who rarely shows vulnerability. But in that moment, he broke down. His oldest son, Deion Jr., called him screaming with excitement, but Prime was so overwhelmed he could not even answer. He later told reporters he was crying uncontrollably and he had to ask his son to give him a moment just to collect himself. That is not just a proud dad watching a dream. That is years of preparation in one snap. That is countless sacrifices turning into reality. Deion knows what it takes to reach the highest level because he lived it. Two-time Super Bowl champion, Hall of Famer, global icon. And now he was watching his son take the first critical steps on that same path. The emotion showed a side of Deion Sanders the public almost never gets to see.
Then my son, Shallow, came quite a bit, but Shedeur was there about every day. Every game Shedeur ever played in his life, I coached him. I had never been away from him. And he said, "Dad, I need you." He said, "Dad, I need you. I need you back." And I reconciled in my mind.
Now, let's be honest about Shedeur's debut. The numbers were not explosive. He completed 4 passes, he threw an interception, and he was dealing with a Ravens defense that makes life miserable for rookies. But the stat line doesn't tell you what your eyes saw. Shedeur stayed composed under pressure. He showed he understood what NFL defenses were trying to do, and most importantly, he did not look rattled by the moment. For a 5th-round pick getting thrown into a hostile situation with no preparation time, That matters. Holding your ground is the first sign that you belong. But the real story was not even on the field. The blockbuster development was happening behind closed doors in Cleveland. Multiple sources connected to the organization started leaking something that sounds almost impossible. The Browns have reportedly explored offering Deion Sanders a contract that would place him among the highest paid coaches in NFL history. And it didn't stop at money. The whispers say this would be power, real power, the kind of control that changes an entire building. And yes, there is even chatter floating around online with clips and commentary like that Browns GM Andrew Berry on Shedeur Sanders at number 2 type of talk. That's how loud this conversation has gotten. People are not just discussing a coaching hire. People are discussing a total reset. New face, new message, new quarterback future. The kind of move that makes fans believe again and makes other teams nervous.
Shedeur he's a very impressive young man. He's poised, he's calm, he's smart. You can tell that he's been raised by, really quite honestly, a Hall of Fame dad. Look, we're going to get to know him even more over the course of the spring, but...
Because the reported deal is not just a massive salary, we are hearing about full control over football operations, final say on draft picks, final say on personnel, authority to restructure the entire organization according to his philosophy, and at the center of that vision would be Shedeur Sanders as the franchise quarterback of the future. Your first reaction might be to call it clickbait, a headline built for attention. But look at the context. The Cleveland Browns are in disarray. Their coaching staff is on unstable ground. Their front office is under crushing pressure to win. They've cycled through quarterbacks like a revolving door, proven veterans, high draft rookies, reclamation projects, and the ending is always the same. Frustration, failure, another reset, another season where the fan base is asked to wait. Cleveland does not just need a coach and a quarterback. Cleveland needs something to believe in. They need hope that feels real. They need a reason for their long-suffering fans to invest emotionally again. They need something that breaks through the constant noise and makes the Browns matter nationally. And nothing would do that faster than hiring Deion Sanders to coach his own son.
One of the funniest moments in the darn game after Shedeur took his helmet off after he made the tremendous scramble. It was like a Heisman type play. And I went over and said, you cannot do that. You cannot take your helmet off. He said, Dad, it's personal. And I just laughed. I just bent over and laughed my butt off because it was in the moment and I was really upset. And he broke the monotony up with it's personal. So they really took it to heart, that whole theme of the week.
The attention would be unreal. Every Browns game becomes appointment television. Every press conference becomes a headline. Every clip goes viral. Whether you love Deion or you can't stand him, he's a magnet for the spotlight. And the NFL loves spotlight when it comes with ratings. Cleveland would instantly become the center of the football universe. After Shedeur's debut, Deion addressed the media, and he said something that should have made every NFL executive lean in. He said he was proud Shedeur got the opportunity because he knows what's happening behind the scenes, behind the struggle. That line is loaded. What does that mean exactly? What is going on in Cleveland that the public isn't seeing? Is there locker room drama? Is there coaching dysfunction affecting Shedeur's growth? Or is Deion hinting that he sees a bigger picture and maybe even a future role in his son's NFL career? Deion's comments were not random. He talked about the transition from father to coach. He explained how before games they walk down the sideline together and he speaks as dad. He says what a father would say. Then once kickoff hits, he flips into coach mode completely. That's not small talk. That's a philosophy he's built over years at Colorado. It's his proof that he can coach his own son while still holding professional standards and team accountability. And if Deion ever coaches Shedeur in the NFL, that separation will be everything, because the critics will come fast. They will scream nepotism. Every decision will be judged through the father-son lens. Every interception Shedeur throws will be used as proof that he only got the job because of his last name. Every Browns loss will dominate debate shows for days. The pressure on both of them would be crushing. But here's the part people forget. Deion already lived under that kind of microscope at the college level. He's already shown he can handle it, and Shedeur has already shown he can perform with that weight on his back.
During the everyday, I see 2, that's Shedeur. I see Shiloh and Bucky. So to all the boys, during the everyday is some funny. Like Shedeur wants to know today, how did I feel about when he did the silent thing, to the media? Because every time he says something, they make something out of it. So he just
Now, let's talk about what Shedeur has actually done, because the narrative around him has been polluted with noise and unfair shots. At Colorado, he played behind one of the worst offensive lines in college football for 2 years and still put up strong numbers. He took brutal hits week after week. He got up every time and kept delivering. He carried the pressure of playing for his famous father while living in the public eye 24/7, and he never complained publicly. He never made excuses. That is not a fragile quarterback. That is mental toughness built for the NFL grind. Yet the skeptics keep reaching. They question whether he's only a product of playing for his father. They act like the last name is doing the throwing. Deion pushed back on that directly when he said they keep trying to make Shedeur into someone else, but he is who he is. He's a Sanders. That was more than a dad defending his son. That was a statement that the pressure and expectations are not a weakness. They are the training ground. And then Deion did something else. He compared Shedeur to other quarterback prospects, and he did it with confidence. He said Quinn Ewers won't get drafted ahead of Shedeur Sanders. He said Carson Beck won't either if he declares. That's a strong take, and it's not just blind father bias. Deion watches film, he studies mechanics, he evaluates talent like someone who lived at the highest level for decades. When a Hall of Famer talks like that, people listen, even if they don't want to. Now, the biggest question, would Deion Sanders really leave Colorado to Cleveland? On paper, it sounds crazy. He built something in Boulder. He has total program control. He's a cultural phenomenon on campus. He recruits at an elite level. He just led Colorado to their best season in years, and that season featured a Heisman Trophy winner. Why would he walk away to coach one of the most dysfunctional franchises in pro sports? But here's what people misunderstand about Deion. He's a competitor first, and there's one mountain he hasn't climbed yet: winning as an NFL head coach, proving he can develop a quarterback at the highest level. College success is real, but the NFL is the ultimate proving ground. It's where legacies get carved in stone. If Deion truly believes he can guide his son to greatness and build a winning culture in Cleveland, then you better believe he's listening to any serious offer. And Deion also has a clear priority: putting his sons in the best position to succeed. If he believes Cleveland offers the right resources and the right commitment to Shedeur, then leaving Colorado becomes a lot more realistic. The NFL can offer something college can't: total organizational alignment. Picture Deion arriving as head coach with personnel authority. He brings his staff, he brings his culture. Shedeur is installed as the starter. The offense is built around his strengths. No internal politics, no competing agendas, just one vision from top to bottom. Money matters too. Reports say the Browns would pay Deion at a level that puts him next to the elite. We are talking deals comparable to what teams pay Andy Reid, Sean Payton, or Sean McVay. That's not a casual offer. That's an ownership-level statement. That's Cleveland saying we are willing to spend whatever it takes to change who we are. And Cleveland can offer more than cash. They can offer a roster with real pieces already in place. Their defense is elite with stars like Denzel Ward and
Myles Garrett. They have quality offensive weapons. They have salary cap flexibility to add more through free agency. Most rebuild jobs come with a gutted roster and years of pain. This one would not. With the right coach and the right quarterback, this team could compete fast, and that is attractive to a turnaround specialist like Deion, who has shown he can change culture quickly. But we have to be real about the risks. The first risk is obvious. Deion has zero NFL coaching experience. Running a 53-man locker room is different. Navigating salary cap rules is different. Managing veterans who have more league years than you have coaching years is different. The NFL is filled with stories of legendary college coaches who got humbled fast at the pro level. The second risk is the media storm. Hiring a coach in part to develop his son would create a circus unlike anything we have ever seen in the NFL. Every call would be questioned. Every depth chart decision would be attacked. Every interception Shedeur throws would be used as proof that he only got the job because of his last name. Every Browns loss would dominate debate shows for days.
The pressure on both of them would be crushing. And if it fails, it would not just be a bad season, it could damage both careers long term. So that is the crossroads. A desperate franchise, a bold offer, a global icon with something left to prove, and a young quarterback who just took his first NFL snaps while the whole world watched his father break down in tears from a youth clinic in Colorado. This is bigger than football. This is legacy. This is control. This is a franchise looking for a new identity. Now the only question is simple. Is Cleveland really ready to hand the keys to Coach Prime? And is Deion really ready to walk into the NFL storm with his son at the center of it? Because if this happens, the league will never look at coaching hires the same way again.